into win and lose as a team, this is another key important aspect of this generative adaptive practice that we're bringing forward, is that now we're going to talk about, we trust you to achieve our goals, right? Which is a really important aspect. And, Phil Zofrea, he's going to give us some insights on that. So when we talk about emphasizing empowering individuals to take ownership and drive results through trust and autonomy, Phil, I know you have some great experiences, of how you've helped teams and helped to co-create an environment where there is trust, and you are creating that space for people to achieve their goals. Give us some insights, about how you've done that.
Yeah, thanks, Doc. A couple stories I have. One, though, in particular, was a company where I was hired, new hire as a director of IT, and I had inherited several development teams. And the previous director had a much different leadership style. Gave directives, right? Everybody was get their orders, their marching orders, and the people really they didn't get to think for themselves, and things moved really slowly. Me coming in was a big change. We practiced all the generative leadership tenets that you were touching upon before, but maybe I should step back a little though. In this scenario, you just don't walk in the door and say, "I trust you to achieve your goals," right? You've got everything from the beginning new. And this, I think a lot of people, in establishing relationships, when you come into a new position or a new company, this is the way it works. And there's a lot of groundwork to be done, and trust needs to be achieved. And the number one thing I started with was communication, because without communication, there can't be any trust, right? And work and non-work, I think, as someone just said before, and whatever you talk about, behaviors have to back that up. And relationships are everything. A person doesn't exist in isolation. We've talked about that too. And the second thing I went into was to evaluate and discuss competency. Because if you're a leader, without competency, there can't be any trust either. So I used when I first went in, I used a particular activity or tool, and maybe I'll try to put a number of the tools and activities I've used. I'll try to put them in the chat for everybody. So I think just throwing those words out there, right? We can grab hold on and look them up. But I use this competency matrix, and basically you just list the people's, you list the skill set you need on the left, the people's names on the top, and then you have a column that says, I need this many low level, this many medium level, this many experts for this particular competency. And then you work with everybody to fill out that matrix. And this is vulnerability right from the start, because people are saying, "Oh yeah, I'm a low, I'm a medium, I'm an expert." So if you can get that done and everybody's communicating even on that level already, that's a big win, right off the bat. So I usually start there, and then we go through, obviously this is an incremental, an iterative thing, and we increase our behaviors and practice, what we need to practice. In my case, eventually they could make their own decisions. And we've heard before, make decisions where the information is. And as I said, some of the activities I used was the competency matrix. I'll throw that in there. There's this thing called delegation poker, celebration grid, moving motivators, and I'm sure everybody's seen the video Greatness by David Marquet, so that's something too. But anyway, I'll throw these things out there because this is stuff as a leader that I think you can leverage. But anyway, the point came when I was able to trust my teams to get the work done, and they trusted that I would support them and had their best interests at heart. And what a noticeable increase in pace. Politics was minimized, red tape was minimized, innovation sprang up with their newfound autonomy. And one example of that is, at this time in history, that what I'm talking about was this team, this organization, I should say, had silos still, right? We had a development area, a QA area, right? And on and on and on. So one of the developers actually said, we're working on this big dashboard, management dashboard project. And one of the developers actually said, hey, we need to help QA with this product. There's just too much for them to test. And I think what we were talking about before, right? You just broke down individualism, right? You know, and everybody got on board and they got together and they tested everything, you know, both the developers and the QA working together. It was just huge otherwise, which at that time in history of this company was a big win. So that was the one that I wanted to share with you, and I'll also put those activities in the chat.
So appreciative, Phil, but of giving that information.